Hi you guys, this is Jamie with Whatever's Clever Boutique, and today we are going to make two different Christmas tree tumblers, and I am so excited to show you guys these. They were really fun to make. I have a favorite of the two. It's definitely the neon, but I just wanted to show you both methods I used for making these tumblers. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. And I will have everything I use listed and linked in the description box below, as well as some discount codes for you guys. And this tutorial is a little bit longer, so go ahead and grab a coffee, a snack, and let's sit down and go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with a prepped, this is 24-ounce travel mug from the Tipsy Magnolia. And I'm also going to use another mug that is just a miscellaneous mug, but they do have a similar size at the Tipsy Magnolia. Now, once I get that bottom all taped off, that's going to be our tree trunk. And I'm going to use a whole bunch of different green glitters today. You can use really any that you would like. I have all of these from Peachy Olive Glitters. I have Banner, Pond House, Max, Hula, Mistletoe, Jaded, and the last one here is Everest. And I'm going to start by spray painting that top part of the tumbler green, and we're just going to go ahead and leave the bottom white. Then I spray painted the entire tumbler for the other one. Now I'm going to take these brown hued alcohol inks from Jen's Crafted Gems, and I'm going to go ahead and use probably just 3 or so of these. We're actually going to use 4. I have Cloudy Dirt, Delusional Dirt, I have 100% Dirty, and Dirty Wish. And basically I just layer these one over the other to kind of create some dimension in my wood grain look. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that alcohol ink, and I am just going to brush it all over the tumbler. By all over the tumbler, I mean the white part of the tumbler that we want to have the wood grain. And once I get to the point where I think that it is where I like it, I'm going to go ahead and leave it. So I just layer the different colors one over top of the other just to create some of that dimension. And I will speed this up for you a bit because it is pretty repetitive, but I just wanted you guys to be able to see how I got to the desired effect. And once we get our alcohol alcohol inks all applied in the way that we like, we're going to go ahead and let that dry for a few hours. Once it's dry, we're going to go in and very lightly tape off that seam between the green and our wood grain. As you can see here, I'm just kind of twisting it around the cup, not really pressing down super hard, just because I don't want to take a chance of that paint lifting. You can epoxy here if you want, just to make sure that it all stays intact, but I was just going off a whim here and hoping that all went well. So then we're going to go in with our epoxy method for glitter today, of course taking the time to be sure the handle is really well epoxied, and then we're going to go in with our glittering. For the glitter application, I don't know if this is called something in particular. I'm going with the scatter method. I don't know if that is accurate or if I'm just making it up, but that's what I call it. So I have all of my glitters lined up here, and I'm just going to take this spoon that I have. I mean, you can really use anything, but I have this spoon, and I'm just spooning on a little bit of glitter onto each tumbler in different sections. There is no rhyme or reason here. You're just laying it on how you see fit, and I will just kind of let you watch here. This does take quite a while. I did speed it up quite a bit here in just a minute, but I'm just going to go through with each color, just kind of sporadically laying it all over the tumbler until we get kind of like a, oh gosh, I don't even know how you really explain it, as much as just like almost like a camo-ish look. But I was kind of just going for more than just your standard green, just plain green. I didn't want that. I wanted some depth and dimension, and the way I achieved that was this glitter application. Look at how cool this looks. I absolutely love it. We're gonna just call this scatter method a win. Then we're gonna go ahead and remove that tape. And now I have this gorgeous green custom peachy olive glitter mix that I am going to put in a little cup here, because we're gonna go ahead and pat down both of our tumblers. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply that glitter that we saved over top of the tumbler after we pat it down for any spots that may be bare or there's a little epoxy showing, and this will just help meld all the colors together to where they're really nicely ombre'd. once we are all done with that, we're going to go in with 2 coats of epoxy. I use KSRESIN Liquidy Split Ultra UV Epoxy. And then I go in with my full sanding regimen. I sand the top of the rim, I sand any rough spots down, and on the bottom. Now, for the string for the lights on this tumbler, I'm just using some nail tape. This was super easy. This tape will kind of meld into any shape you want. You just have your finger follow that tape line, as you can see here, and it will curve and it will go whatever which direction you want. It was so easy to work with. Now for the light string, you can add as much or as little of this as you would like. I kind of went haywire and just added all the things. Now I'm going to go in with some brown nail tape, and I'm just going to apply that right to that seam where our glitter and our wood grain meet. Now for our other tumbler, I got these little lights from Michael's, and I saw them randomly. I had already planned on doing the rhinestone tumbler, and I found these when I went shopping, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. So all I do here is, and it is a little bit time consuming, but it was really easy. So I just took a little bit of UV resin, and I have a glove on one of my fingers there, so I can use that hand to be the hand that touches the resin. And then I take my little UV flashlight here, and I just cure it, not fully, I wouldn't say, but I cure it so it stays still. And then once I get all of the lights laid down the way I want on the tumbler, I go in with my actual UV light, and I keep turning the tumbler so it fully cures. And in the midst of making this, I was on Instagram and saw this gorgeous tumbler from the Custom Cactus. I don't know what she used for the lights, but they are so cool. So I wanted to show you guys because her tumbler was so awesome, and it was very similar to the one that I was working on. So that's another way you can decorate it. She did a phenomenal job. Mine are a little bit different, but you know, with crafting, you can do whatever you would like. So I'm just gonna keep applying these lights to the tumbler, and once it is all done, then we will go in with some epoxy. At this point, we're going to apply 2 coats of epoxy to both of our tumblers. Now, I wanted to show you here, this did take quite a while, so I did not use Fast Set for this tumbler. I just used the regular KSRESIN epoxy, and it gave me much more of a working time because, as you can see here, I just slowly, and this is sped up 2 times, so that goes to show you how slow I actually did work. I just slowly added the epoxy, making sure it got every little nook and cranny next to the light bulbs, covering the UV, all of that. So it did take me quite some time. You really want to take the time here to be sure that everything is covered, both coats, because you don't want any sharp. Those little lights are really sharp, and when you add epoxy, they get sharper. So you want to be sure that that second coat fully covers those light tips, I should say. You don't want the whole thing covered, but just the little tips that are really pointy. after 2 coats and our epoxy is all cured, here is what we have, and I am loving both tumblers so far. But now we're going to go ahead and go in with the rhinestones on our tumbler that has the tree trunk on it, if you will. So I have these SS12 from Diamond Fire Rhinestones, and these are black. These are going to be the base of our light bulbs. And then I initially was going to do standard, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but I got these neons from Be Createful, and I found them while I was looking through my stones, and I was like, yes, absolutely yes, this is what I'm using. So I'm using the big guys. I believe these are SS30. They are really big, but that's what I was looking for. So I'm just going to empty a little bit of each of these into my little rhinestone organizers. Now we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of our liquid fusion, and we're going to put that into our precision tip dispenser. This is going to help us because this tumbler is finished. At this point, no more epoxy is going on this tumbler. So we're taking that precision tip with the liquid fusion in it, and I'm just putting little dots where we're going to apply the bases of those light bulbs. Now we're going to go ahead and put another dot right next to those little black rhinestones, and that's where we're going to apply our colored ones to create our light bulbs. And I just go ahead and keep doing that all over the tumbler. I did go a little bit crazy here, but I love it. The more neon little lights, the better for me. You can add as much or as little of these as you want, and whatever end result you're looking for is what you can achieve here by how many or how little you put on your tumbler. And this tumbler is finished. Once you get those rhinestone applied, you're done. Now for our light bulbs. This one gave me a little bit of a headache. So I applied the paint marker in black for my strand of lights, and I didn't love it. It did not look bad, but I just didn't feel like it had any wow factor. I couldn't love it. So I decided to put the black on, and then I went in with our foil adhesive, and I followed that black line with the foil adhesive, and I applied a gorgeous foil to it. The foil I decided to use was this almost like charcoaly gray silver from Southern Belle Glitter. The name tag fell off of it, so I'll go ahead and list it down below for you so you can grab it if you love it. But now I'm just going in, like I said earlier, with that precision tip and the foil adhesive. I do apologize, I got out of frame here because I kept pulling it up near my face to be sure I was getting the lines. It's a whole thing. I made this way more complicated than it needed to be, but the end result is really pretty. So I just apply that foil adhesive, I let it dry, and then I take my foil and I just rub that right over top of my little light lines. And after way more time than it should have taken, I have this little wormhole looking foil and a really cute tumbler. So once that's done, I go in with 2 more coats of epoxy on that small tumbler, and our tumblers are finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was so fun to create. I don't usually put things on my tumbler aside from Halloween. So this was really fun and definitely tested my creativity a little bit, but ultimately I love the end results. My favorite, of course, is the neons. I just can't not love it. But I hope this was able to spark a little bit of inspiration for you guys. And again, don't forget to go check out the custom cactus and her tumbler that was so pretty. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I will see you guys tomorrow with another tumbler tutorial.